one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Under God, under fire, a humanist group suing a New Jersey school district on behalf of a family that thinks the phrase under God discriminates against atheist kids. Does the family have a point? Attorney Rebecca Rose Woodland says no way, but attorney Paul Millus says the family absolutely has a case. Paul, defend.
They do. Because the bottom line here is that under God isn't something that came by the founding fathers. It's not as if under God was established 200 years ago. It was established by in 1954 by Dwight Eisenhower. And the point of this whole argument is whether New Jersey statute, this particular statute, is unconstitutional, which says that you cannot segregate people based upon religion within a public school. Now, they were smart to do that. The prejudice is in the fact that they have to remain silent if that's their beliefs. And in doing so, they are held out and segregated from those who have those beliefs.
But how?
But Paul, I'm trying to figure out if there's a Muslim service going on over there and I don't want to participate, I just don't go in.
Right, but you don't have to go in. You have a choice. In this particular instance, the statute says that they have to say it. This is a different statute, I think, and I think that's going to make the difference here. Whether or not you're being segregated because if you don't want to say it, you don't have to, but then you are held out to ridicule, and that raises equal protection arguments under the New Jersey State Constitution. So I think this might be a different argument. That's where they're going to test this, and it's a test case. Look, the world has changed. 50 years ago, you wouldn't have talked about having creches in the public square.
It's been debated for 50 years, and it's been held constitutional.
At least this one, fortunately, is on the state level rather than the federal level, which is a completely different
state argument. No
All right, let's do this one. In the meantime, the Supreme Court upholding Michigan's ban on affirmative action in state universities, ruling that voters are entitled to decide the issue.
Well, it did, and it was a 6-2 decision, and quite frankly, it was overwhelming. What we're dealing with here is whether or not whether these policies are discriminatory or non-discriminatory. The court takes the issue that's presented to it at the time, and in this situation is whether or not the voters of Michigan can say we're going to get rid of all these type of policies. Once that was the issue, the court said they absolutely have a right to do that because it's a racially neutral statute. In a sense, it's providing equal protection to all. It's not saying that African Americans or Hispanics can't do certain things. It's not saying that whites can do certain things over them. It's saying that everybody has an even playing field.
So stay right there for a second. Admittance into universities, state universities.
Or any job, anything.
Yeah, but let's stay on that one specifically because are there racial quotas in the schools? Are there allowed to be racial quotas in the schools?
Quotas are a different term. The courts are not big on quotas. They have allowed and permitted affirmative action programs and will continue to do so.
What's the difference? Can you help me out here?
Well, to answer your question, Eric, quotas are generally verboten. People do not like to have quotas, but affirmative action is different. It takes into account a myriad of factors to give people an even playing field. It is different than quotas.
I have to leave it there. Supreme Court, good. Again, kicking it to the states. That's good news. Another good news.